right. So welcome back to Coffee with Bāeo. We are here today with one of our dear and best friends, Nikki Reed. Yay! Thank you. And Nikki is a crazy Bāeo supporter, and we're so lucky that she loves it so much.
We do. And I love you guys so much.
We love you too, and thank you for showing all of your support. I think it's really cool when you have friends who have platforms and use those platforms to lift each other up. I think that's all kind of, a beautiful way to support each other, and I love that you do that, and I love that you support other people.
Thanks. Ditto, guys.
Thanks. So we want to talk to Nikki a little bit. We love her company, Bayou with Love. And just recently, Nikki launched Bayou Baby. So that's super exciting.
Just so I could sit on this couch with you guys.
It's so exciting, and your stuff is just absolutely gorgeous, and we're going to link it below so that you can see everything. But can you tell us a little bit about Bayou Baby and how you came to that place?
Yeah, so I think my dream for launching the company as a whole was always a bit more ambitious than I realized, and so we've been kind of like tackling one thing at a time because, like you guys, there's so many things that I feel passionate about that all kind of fit under this one umbrella of like organic, sustainable, ethical, locally produced, conscious products. Mm-hmm. And so being a mom, and kind of a new mom. She's 2, but I still feel like she's a baby.
I mean, they are.
They're baby.
She's
a baby forever. I felt like kind of like venturing into the baby world made a lot of sense because that's where my heart is at, and that's where my head is at, and that's where we're just all of us moms, like we're always looking for better options and alternatives for our kids in any regard. And so in the last year, not only have I been really focused on that part of Bayou, but I've also been a big part of a really special company called Raised Real, not to segue, but while we're talking about baby stuff,
great.
That also offers interesting, like dynamic, cool, healthy recipes for busy moms who don't necessarily have the time or ability to like execute on their desire to make all those yummy hand-cooked pureed meals for their kids 3 times a day, and especially for our household where we have a child, as you both know, who is I don't want to say picky because that's a label.
She's
but
a selective eater.
Selective, I like that choice.
Yeah,
she's selective.
She's selective.
And we were struggling with that. So Raised Real and Bayou Baby became a really organic, I guess pun intended, place for me to put my energy and time, and this is where my head's at.
I love that. I just want to say Jalen is a picky eater and selective, sure, but he loved Raised Real. I mean, and it was so easy because I like pureed his food until like last month because he wouldn't chew anything.
Right.
And he loved all the flavors, and I also felt so good about what I was giving him because it's such an interesting combination of.
Also, when you're like a mom on the go, I found myself many times like I might have had I have leftover rice in my refrigerator, so I like take the rice out, and then I would throw in one of those veggie combo delicious things with like turmeric and sweet potatoes and whatever. It's all already in there, and I would just like saute that up, pour it over my rice, and I would eat that,
right.
And it was so nice just to have that because you're thinking like, okay, this is for my kid, and then I got to do something for me. It's like, no, you can all eat together.
The same thing.
Yeah, and you can do it in a way that makes it easier. It's like, what is the modern day TV dinner? The modern day TV dinner could be something as simple and as healthy and wonderful as something like Raised Real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's definitely nice to not feel like you have to separate meals by age. We should all be eating. We should all be able to find ourselves with like healthy, nutrient-dense foods that don't have to be specific for babies. Like, what is baby food? It's just human food. So I felt really inspired by that, along with the message that like food waste is a massive issue and a huge topic in our household, and I'm sure you guys have the same thing. Although I love your little babies are such big eaters, and there's never enough. Every night when I leave your house, I'm like,
nothing left.
That feels so good. There's nothing left.
I'm like deemed our composter in our household. So if anything is left over, I like go through and compost all their food into my body.
Me too.
Especially when we go to a restaurant, like it's just become a thing where I will order a soup to split with Esme, and then like a side of rice or something to split with her. And what I end up doing is that I just eat everybody else's food. And it's because I love everything. Like, I'm just not that picky, and I love to eat. So I'm like, what's the point of me ordering a massive meal when I could just like eat with my daughter and then be like, okay, Wyatt didn't finish that, and Eric didn't finish that,
and not me. I'm like, can I have two for myself?
And I would like a variety.
That's the joke when we order food at our house. She comes over to our section every time and goes, we got 4 plates, but there's 3 of you. You know that, right? Just to make sure every time. Yeah.
That is funny. And the pieces look so cute. What age does it go up to?
You know what? I thought your babies would be too old, but they actually will fit.
In the size 2?
Yeah.
So it goes up to size 2?
3.
It goes up to 3?
Yeah.
Okay. So it goes 0 to 3?
Yeah.
Okay, cute. That's perfect, because I think even the 2 might fit Esme.
They are running.
Esme?
I thought the cuts were gonna run a little on the small side, just because when we were designing, Bodhi's quite petite, and so we were kind of designing with those measurements in mind. But everything runs true to size, if not a little bit big.
Which is great, because then you're like, okay, if I get my size, it's a little big, then they can grow.
And when we were designing, what I was trying to keep in mind is not designing for a specific gender in terms of style and color, because
I love that.
You know how we are in our household. Even for Bodhi's birthday, we asked for no presents and only hand-me-downs, because there's just a lot of waste with kids' clothes and kids' products, and there's the inevitable waste that you like experience when you have a baby, which is just things like diapers in the house, or like snacks that come in boxes, and you're like, wow, suddenly there's so much more plastic that I'm not used to, and just like massive shifts for us personally. But there are areas where you can still be really conscious, and I feel like one of those is encouraging more designers to not design with a specific gender, so color palette and style. So everything we've designed could work for boy and girl, and brother, sister, cousins, everyone can share.
We'll have some pictures in the text below, but I personally really love I love the color pink. I do, and I love not like, if you don't think like bubblegum pink, it's fine, but or like super deep pink is maybe not my favorite, but like in terms of favorite color pink, there are hues of pink that I really love, but my son loves pink, and his favorite color is rainbow, as you guys probably know because I talk about it all the time.
I love that so much.
And I think that's really great. I think if there's a way that we can shift that, and if it starts with our young designers who have companies that are putting out organic clothes and just making like really big strides, but if you can also be making a stride to say like, it doesn't matter what color you wear, like it doesn't. Like, my son really wanted this, like, rainbow lunchbox, and it hurt my heart that he was like, well, I don't want anybody to, like, make fun of me. And I was like, people, what? You're in kinder. Like, no one's going to make fun of you. I was like, don't worry about that. I love rainbows, too. I feel like as a mom, you're like, we love rainbows. So
is that why you're only wearing rainbow onesies right now?
Always. Yeah. Rainbow, hello. No, so I don't know. It's just, I think it's great that you do that and have that message out there, and it doesn't matter what color you put on your kid. Like, we shouldn't be categorizing that way.
And another topic to tackle that I don't like to shy away from is cost, right? Like, some people don't want to talk about that because it feels uncomfortable or it feels taboo, but while we're all sitting here talking about startups and, like a young entrepreneurial audience on this couch, and we're doing the best we can with the resources we have, but sourcing ingredients for your products and for my products, materials that do tick all the boxes on the list, you know, you're not going to compromise with your ingredients for your product. And so that means that those ingredients might come with a cost. So if you want everything to be certified organic, that comes with a cost. And that cost is reflected in your product. And we're living in a world right now where like poorly made products, chemical-filled products, fast fashion, they're in direct competition with all of our young companies that are trying to do things the right way and lead with that. Not just that messaging, but that product that really stands on its own, that really does feel aligned with your moral compass, your values, and the things that you want to wear, you want to use on your own children. And so one way that I felt like I can kind of like tackle that conversation and justify, you know, I want to spend my hard-earned money on things that I feel are good for the planet, good for our family, that are conscious products. And like everybody else, it's frustrating for me when the cost of those products is higher than what you can get at like CVS and Walmart. It's frustrating for all of us.
I know.
But one way to do that is to create, like, what I love what you guys have done is I buy your products, as you know, in bulk, but they're a family-friendly product. So I don't know if you market it that way. I'm sure you probably do, but it's not just for my daughter. We have now replaced all of our skincare on our body with your products so that we're taking one container on a family trip, right?
Yes.
We're using it for everybody. Mm-hmm. That feels sustainable for us. Yeah. That feels conscious in terms of like waste, package waste, things like that. And that's what we try to do with Bayou, is whether it's jewelry, you know, with jewelry we're trying to create pieces that are stackable, that you wear for a lifetime, that get passed down between family members, that aren't just like hitting one particular trend that tomorrow is going to be out the window. And with the clothing, the cost is so high, and no one wants to talk about this. It's so high for, you know, even our little tiny company to buy certified organic cotton, and how we're choosing to produce and where. And so people look at the retail price of something and they go like, wow, why can't we get this for $6? Well, the reason you can't get it for $6 is because when you pay only $6 for something, you might not be paying the financial cost of that, but you're paying the environmental cost of that. Someone somewhere, whether it's the planet or the people who are creating that cost, is hurting from that cost.
That's true.
And no one understands that because the conversation isn't there yet.
Right. Yeah.
And so instead of like shying away from that and going, it totally is uncomfortable for me, a girl who was raised by like a single mom in Los Angeles who made like $17,000 a year and raised kids on her own. My mom probably would not have been able to go out and buy a $35 or a $40 piece of clothing for us as kids. So with that in mind, I try to design pieces that don't hit a particular trend, that can be passed between siblings or even friends. And so there's a greater purpose for that piece that can justify the cost until sustainable products are so important for people, and we're putting pressure on companies and corporate consciousness is becoming part of the conversation, and then cost inevitably is reduced as consumer demand increases.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was long-winded.
No, it's great.
I mean, it's such an important thing to, you know, bring to light. I think a lot of people do think that. They're like, well, why am I going to buy this when I could buy this?
Yeah.
And they don't think in that way. And I think it's important to
talk
about it.
And also, you know, it's something that I think I thought about like years ago is, you know, I used to be somebody who's like, I got to get a deal. Like, it has to be so inexpensive. So I'm going to buy that white t-shirt that's like, you know, so inexpensive. And by the way, like, you know, I grew up in Kentucky. We lived on a farm. Like, we definitely had a different financial situation. So, but you know, when my mom used to say when we were kids, she was like, you know, we always have to look for a sale. She's like, but you have to buy something that's like nice on sale because it'll last for a really long time. She wasn't wanting to buy something that was like $5 that wasn't on sale, but she was like, because you're going to wash it 2 times and it's going to be done.
Right.
We needed our things to last, right?
Right.
Jeans to last, clothes to last, whatever it is. So I think that's, if you think about it that way, it's like I'm making an investment in something, and it's something that's like a classic piece and I can keep it going.
Yeah.
Especially with kids fashion, just because in general, like, they're going to grow out of it so quickly. Maybe buy it a little bit bigger, buy it organic, buy it to where you could, if you have more kids, pass it down, give it to your sister, give it to your friend, you know. and keep that cycle going. I love hand-me-downs for that reason. Thank you, Anna, very much for that.
It's really cute. Lila will see Esme every day and be like, that's my socks and my dress and my jacket and my
Bodhi
shoes.
sees Esme every day and says the same thing, so I guess this is my way of saying thank you too, because I bet Bodhi's actually wearing Lila's stuff.
Which is amazing. Yeah. And by the way, most of Lila's stuff is Annabelle's stuff.
Yeah.
So it literally is getting
it was like
passed
her
down.
sister's kids thing first, and then
and
went
then
to
Lila,
Lila,
and then to Esme, and then to
Esme.
Bodhi.
And so it's nice.
I'm trying to encourage a little more of that, like with toy sharing too, because I think I noticed that parents get really anxious to like get rid of the toys that are no longer serving their kid in that moment because it takes up space in the house, and it's and there's constantly new things coming in, and children need stimulation, and so you're always like giving them what they need for that.
That's a problem in our house for sure.
Everyone's home, and clothing is an easy thing to swap and pass amongst friends, but I also, that's why for Bodhi's birthday I made sure to ask everybody if possible to give us their used toys, because the amount of plastic and waste that goes into toy production that's used for 5 minutes, and how many of those things end up in landfills was really
donate it to Baby to Baby,
or donate it to Baby to Baby,
like, or if you have like a local organization, if you don't have Baby to Baby near you, if you have a local organization that will take toys, like it makes such a massive impact. It's huge, and you know, you're absolutely right about the plastic problem. So I think that's really smart and really great.
We're in it together, guys.
I have a question.
Idea swapping.
Tell us how you juggle everything, because you are you do so much, and you're such an incredible mom, and also a great friend, and you always show up for us whenever we call you.
I know, you always
like
answer your phone
you
too.
Text back, you call us back, you show up for this. We're seeing you tomorrow, and then next. Like, how do you? What some advice that? And I know it's hard.
I need advice from you guys.
I'm pretty sure Anna has tears in her eyes right now.
I do, because it's hard, but she does. I'm very tired. I did not sleep, and I know you didn't sleep either.
We're all
But we had our
end
first.
this all by crying.
We had our first straight show, and Jalen, I don't know what he's doing, but it's like my boobs is nipple. I'm like, my boob is his nipple. That's not right. My nipple.
That's very right. It's passing.
And I'm just tired, and I'd like to know, because when I first met you, you were also like very sleep deprived, because I know that you were co-sleeping and she was nursing a lot at night.
All through the night, like you are now.
He's still doing that. But yeah, tell us how you.
Is there any sort of tricks?
I feel like I need you guys to give me some tricks, because I'm just gonna put this out there right now. I think that we, like all moms and people, we have a tendency to talk about things that we actually are trying to teach ourselves. So I talk a lot about like balance and trying to figure out the juggle, because that's something I'm struggling with. I'm struggling, and so I'm trying to like project what I'm hoping to also absorb at the same time. Some days I feel like I've really got it, like I've got the flow, I've got plenty of sleep under my belt, I set my alarm early, I'm like, you know what, today's the day I'm going to throw on a face mask, and I'm just going to like, whatever I'm going to do, that's for me. And then there are days like today where I show up in your living room, so grateful that you made me a salad that I could literally cry because I haven't slept in 30 hours, and I can't believe I'm sitting, Then there are days like this where I go, how and why did I think it was a sane idea to start a company when I was pregnant, take on another company. I'm a full-time mom. We've chosen to not have a nanny for now, which is obviously,
But to those people who do have nannies, Nikki does have her mom, which is really nice. Yeah,
I do. Yeah. We have family help, which is great. My husband's family is super involved.
Yes.
She was kind of like the first grandchild for for some of the grandparents, and so that's really nice to have all of that support. But we're definitely learning how to function without like a consistent routine. So I don't have that type of structure and schedule where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to work at 9 a.m. and I'm going to come home at 5. Because right now, luckily when you own your own company, part of that is that you can work from home some days, work from the office other days. So we're experiencing the juggle, right? But like, we're definitely not in a flow yet with that. We're figuring that out.
Yeah.
And I think that always shifts though, that flow, like you figure it out, and then all of a sudden you know, you get another job or you have another baby or someone gets sick or something happens and you're like, oh, I thought I had it figured out, but wait, no, I need to.
It's like being open to that constant change and the ebbs and flows, and life gets really, really busy and also really unpredictable, and then it slows down for a second, you know. And my big thing right now is remembering that the time that I get with her, because we're all working moms who work half from home, half from an office, half from, you know, half on the road, half when the kids are in school and we're outside school waiting. Like, we're all just working as much as we can.
Yeah.
But you're working with your children a lot, right? Like I am. I'm working with my child a lot. And so one thing I'm trying to remember is to separate time with her and work with her. Like, I don't want her to see me. I remember reading this quote somewhere, and I don't even know where, so I might be butchering the quote, but the essence is there, which is, your kids know what you love by where you put your time. And I remember growing up seeing my dad reading the newspaper in the morning, and I was like, wow, I can't wait to read, and I can't wait to travel the world, because he was always reading history books and talking about history. And that was what I aspired to be like him and see those parts of the world and read those books. And I don't want my child to grow up looking at me, looking at a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how we're all answering emails, you know.
Totally.
We all fall victim to it. So that's something I'm really struggling with right now, is finding a way to separate that and say, you know, there are tons of fires to put out always when you're running a company, and everything is always an emergency, you know.
Yeah.
But you can, 5 minutes is possible. 5 minutes here and there is possible where you're just present. You don't have your phone. If someone emails and you don't get back to them, the answer is, I'm so sorry, you know, I'm with my child. That's just it.
Yeah, I think that's so important. I try to remind myself of that every single day, and I try to make a sort of like okay, this is, the phone goes down, I spend time with them, we eat dinner, after dinner we do bath time, we do bedtime.
Yeah.
After they go to bed, then I can pick my phone back or my computer back up, and I can work a little bit again.
I think like I did the setting on my phone where from like 5 to 8 it shuts off, because it's dinner time and bath time and bedtime. I mean, I'm fully still guilty of like ignoring the time limit and like responding to a text but I try.
Yeah.
But I also, like, I yell at Peter because he's like, oh, I just have to text this person back. And I go, why? Like, why? Like, it doesn't, we live in a time where we think everything has to happen right now, but it really doesn't.
Yeah, we're like,
we're programmed. But if like I don't respond to you for 2 hours, you're not gonna get mad at me. You're not gonna say anything to me. You're gonna be like, okay, hi, thanks for it's not gonna mean anything really.
No.
And sure, there are times where it's like work and it's important, but that's during the day. I think anything after
a certain
work hours, like,
I think the people who know you and love you know where your time is going, and they respect that space. It's the in-between folks who are not like your closest people who take it personally when there isn't a direct response. And that's something that we're all learning to navigate, this world of connectivity and social media and this digital age that we're in that keeps us all so tied into everything. It also creates a level of discomfort if we remove ourselves for a second. Everyone's uncomfortable with that. Oh gosh, are they okay? We haven't heard from them. What are they doing? They haven't posted in a while. I texted her 3 weeks ago. She didn't get back to me. Do you think she's mad? You know, whatever that thing is. We have like an unspoken obligatory feeling of you have to be present for everybody. So I guess like going back to the idea of balance is just remembering that the only person you really need to be present for at the end of the day is your kid. Kinda.
Yeah.
Those are the hours you just can't get back.
No, it's so true.
And because our work hours are so wild, because we're all running companies, sometimes I'm working from like 8 till midnight and then 5 till 9 a.m. or whatever those weird hours are to like avoid the overlap with her. And then other times you're nursing and like sending 900 emails going, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I'm doing it one-handed. This is the worst ever, I know, but I just got to get this email out. You know, it's like...
Yeah, I'm fully guilty of like nursing him to sleep and like... have my phone here and I'm like texting as he's nursing.
Yeah, because you're like,
you have the pillow and nurse. You're like, move down like an iPad work. I know, we all do it.
Fully guilty.
So bad. Well, thank you so much for doing this today. What we always like to ask at the end of our Coffee with Bāeo is what's in your cup. So Anna, what's in your cup today?
Coffee with milk again. Boring.
What's in your cup?
Tea. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Which is shocking because You like are always going and don't sleep. How do you survive without?
A lot of cups
coffee.
of tea. I'm over tea'd right now.
Okay.
I've had too many
gives
cups
you
of
energy.
tea.
So what kind of tea do you typically like to drink then?
A green or a black,
Green or black?
depending on how frisky I want to be.
With milk or no?
No, I actually do
You just
nothing.
drink
I
it
do
straight
like
up.
some raw local honey sometimes, and sometimes I just go like, let's taste the tea.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
What's
What
in
are
your
you
cup,
drinking?
Sarah?
I'm having a coffee with milk today.
Almond milk.
No, regular.
Today's regular.
Just regular.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for being with us
Thank you,
today.
guys.
We really
Love
appreciate
you.
it.
Love you
We're going to have
guys
lots
so
of
much.
information in the text below about Nikki's amazing companies and things for you to check out. And if you want to check out Bayou Baby and the launch of Bayou Baby and the collaboration with 1212, we're so, so excited for it.
Yay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you.